So welcome again. And really, our passion here is to support as many people as we can here to use our daily life, really, every experience that you're going through for your spiritual awakening, as your spiritual practice, everything. And we started with business, and I feel like the first woman that has the courage to open up and send us a beautiful long email. You can see it on episode number 1, make me think a lot about how can we support, like same kind of situation. She went out to work, and to support her husband that was not to pay the rent and bills and things like that. So the title of our episode today is called Going from I have to I choose to. And because I am, in love to this balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, I want you to see if you can sense the difference. I think all of us, we can. If you feel, how does it feel really? I have to go to work. I have to go to work. Notice if that feels like heavy, if that feels, like dense or, apathic, or, really feels good and, makes you feel excited about, more energy in. It's like really to detect that every thought that we have, okay, is an experience itself. And the more we are connected with our feminine essence, our divine feminine, the more we embody this feminine aspect of ourselves, men and women, okay, the more we can sense, we can feel, and the more we can detect if that kind of thoughts are in alignment with your true nature, with our true nature or not. Take another loving deep breath here. Notice, how does it feel? If you say, I want to go to work today. Go to work today. Just notice, how does it feel for you? Let's say that this is a thought that you are having for you right now. I have to do this episode, or I choose to do this episode. I want to do this episode. I want you to notice that already makes a huge difference, in our experiences. So if you notice that, and that's a gift that you have from your feminine essence, the feminine aspect of ourselves in men and women, the feminine aspect is the one that can sense that vibration of that kind of thinking. I have to go to work. I have to, I have to arrive on time. I suppose, things that we start to think when we are, in a position of maybe threatened or stress or whatever, we have the tendency to think thoughts that are in alignment, if you want, with the old consciousness. The consciousness of separation, of effort, of loneliness, of I'm here, I have to do everything by myself, it's like, oh my. So from that consciousness, and one of the things that you can do to support yourself in that direction is to change your thinking. That is a very masculine aspect. And all of us, men and women, we have that capacity. So if you want to define here 2 things, it's like the masculine, the feminine feels. That will be the radical extreme, okay? And both of us, men and women, okay, we have these 2 incredible gifts to think, okay, and to feel, to notice, what is going on energetically talking. So if we put these 2, aspects of ourselves, thinking and feeling, masculine and feminine, in balance, what we are going to notice is that it's easier to really choose what it is that we want to think. In you can do that. So to go back to our daily life, I want to bring back our first lady here with her email, about having to go to work, being exhausted. The work that she found was physical. So my invitation about today, from I have to I choose to I want to, is to always sit down a little bit, and give space to yourself to explore for yourself here, And if you see yourself doing something that is not very pleasant, that you're exhausted, see if you can start to ask yourself, why? Why do I want to go to work? Without a strong why, a strong motivation, okay, there is no excitement. But when you find your reasons, let's say that you find your reason, I want to go to work today because I am committed to support myself, to support my family, my husband, my household, my lifestyle, whatever it is that you want to do there, you know, touch with your motivation. And that's a way that you can build it. So why do I want to do this, Ask Dr. Monica episode? And as soon as I ask why, I get in contact with my passion for doing it. So for some of us, it's really easy because we already are working in what we like and we are in love too, and we are in alignment with our passion. But for some of us, or in another period in my life, let's say, it's not so easy because you are really trapped into the old perception that you are doing something that you don't really want to do. If that is the case, you have to have a plan. You have to have your mind supporting you, okay? So, for example, things that comes to mind here is like, you could have that tension, that commitment to support your husband, let's say. It's not the same to go for a work and to don't know when that's going to end, that to sit together with your husband, for example, both of you discerning, how can we do this better? How can we do this, more fun? That you become to be creative, okay? And when you ask that and you share with your husband and say, maybe one of the plans is, okay, give me a little hand right now for 6 months, and then we see if I can find a different work, or I can go up in my own job, or I can create something outside the work that can bring us more money. But you have to be for yourself to really be doing what you want to do. And the way that you can arrive there is by asking always, why choose to do this? And if you don't find reason, that question will bring you reasons for you to do it, okay? It's what we call a creative question. By the way, one day I will love to do a little teaching about creative questions because they are very powerful. But meanwhile, you can go to creativequestions.com and read about it, okay? But, why do I want, or why do I choose to do this? That creative question is going to point towards you finding reasons, that answer the question, especially if you know how to wait, how to allow the silence that come after the question to respond. One day I take you and I teach you how we do that, okay? But today, just to arrive to the point, why? Why do I want to do this? Until your heart speaks to you. And if it's, I don't really want to do this, okay, what else can I do? Open to find the guidance. And of course, we are talking about people that are choosing consciousness. And when you choose consciousness, awakening, you already felt the call to be in alignment with your true nature, with your essence, okay? So at that moment, you are on the path of take 100% responsibility of your experience. So it's a big switch. The I have to, from I have to I choose to I want to, is the same switch than to say from victimhood, my gosh, victim, to empowerment. Empower yourself. Well, your mind is an incredible ally. And your feelings, your sensations, your capacity to sense is an incredible ally, because you can sense immediately what kind of thoughts are making you, more or less happy. And then the ability really is to grow in consciousness enough, become more and more aware, okay, of this silence, presence, essence that you are, okay? So you can detach from the automatic way of thinking that is based on victim, effort, strive, to not enjoy life really, to start to switch towards this empowering way of thinking, because you sense that that thought is much more in alignment with bringing you the joy and the blessings and the beauty of, being in this world. you know, one thing that reflects where, in what consciousness we are. And I'm saying this to promote, to really inspire all of us to be compassionate with our journey, because you are not where you are right now by accident and how bad luck you have. No, your spirit, you are awakening to your true nature, okay? And sometimes we need a lot of contrast, and then that shakes us, okay? So nothing wrong with you, whatever situation you are in. But what we know, and you notice, and you will notice more and more, and I will love if you can be patient with yourself, very loving, gentle with you, because you are suddenly opening a new window and discovering a new dimension here, you know? So we don't know how to speak that dimension in one day. So yes, like, we take dedication, you know, and really, you know, to stay intentional there, to support yourself. Like you said, I mean, from victim, source, outside, and one day I will talk about that, you know, to suddenly take your power and realize that the source of your life is inside, okay? Totally. So, but something that I want to say, you know, this woman was reflected in many of us. I mean, I have so many comments about, you know, that come and say, you know, I feel very tired and I'm exhausted. And the reason, you know, is because the work is very heavy physically. That can be, absolutely, you know, but if you were enjoying the job and enjoying your physicality, maybe instead of arriving home tired, you would be, wow, maybe physically tired, but like, I remember how much I enjoyed when I was ending the day of skiing in the snow, you know, and I was exhausted, but such a pleasure, you know, I want to do, right? So if you feel heavy, dense, tired, remember that shows up. The best way that we can get tired here is resisting. I don't want, I don't like, this is not good, judgment, this is bad. And we keep there, you know, in this density, old consciousness that is shaking and we are waking up from. Be very gentle, because the tendency from the old consciousness is immediately to feel guilt. Oh, now it's my fault that I feel tired. You know, who's going to speak that way? Well, our egos, our separated beings, you know, the fearful one, the whatever, okay, survival one, let's call it. But the truth is, if you are gentle, you say, gosh, you know, I don't know how to do better until now, but I'm start to really enjoy this. Let's say that you are listening here and say, well, I can see some hope. And then, you know, you will have to walk, like Barry was saying here. It's not because you change the thought 1 minute here, you know. We are thinking 24 hours a day. And I am how to say, a strong testimonial of how much it takes to change a conditioning thinking, you know, a conditioned thinking, a habit of thinking. So I just, you know, we like to support you to be very, very loving. Sometimes you don't know what to do. When you don't know how to do, I don't know what to think, I'm just down. Love yourself being down. Love yourself being tired. Love yourself. Love whatever experience shows up. Love opens the door, and that is the divine feminine manifesting on this earth. Okay, so use it, men and women. Okay, love, capital letters, not a love. One day maybe we come questions about what kind of love. Okay, the love, capital letters, the love that I call silence, emptiness, you know, universe, capital letters, God, goddess, you know, love. I don't know, you can use any word that you want, you know, but that love that is unconditional, really, okay? If you allow, if you give that love, if you say to you when you are tired, I love you, or I love you, Beryl, I love you, I do love you, here tired, here depressed, here, you know, like angry, here lost, sit down and take a little moment to take some breath, to love that moment. Has nothing to do with the mind judging, like, don't like, this good or bad. It has to do with your own inner self, okay? You can love yourself for a moment and take care of that moment that you are in despair, or you are sad, or you are alone, quiet, humble, you know, and open to see this situation differently, okay? So that is the Ask Dr. Monica for today. I do want it to empower all of us, okay? And remember, because to me, I know this, and sometimes I see myself complaining, you know, it's like, oh, now I have to, oops, the ball, you know, oh my gosh, is that I have to, you know, supportive, empowering? okay, so why do I want to do that? Let me check in, okay? Because if I am not in alignment, I'm going to come back home really exhausted. So let's find something that motivates me, and the why is super important.